This is Chris Brawls. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Brawls. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I am here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown March 18th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Now we have the first segment of the night, where we had the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns returning on SmackDown. Now, he was not on SmackDown last week, so yeah, he's returning to SmackDown, and of course he has cousins, the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, and Paul Heyman with them, and they come down to the ring, and Paul Heyman does his usual thing, introduces the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And then, of course, Roman Reigns pretty much sending a message to Brock Lesnar and stuff after he got the news that Paul Heyman, he had his phone out and he was looking at the news, and apparently there was a bad storm in Saskatchewan, and he pretty much ain't appearing on tonight's Friday Night SmackDown, which is in Charlotte, North Carolina tonight. And, Paul Heyman was talking about how Brock Lesnar ain't going to be here tonight because of that storm, and it delayed all the flights and all that stuff. So, yeah, Lesnar will not be on SmackDown tonight. And Roman Reigns, he said, well, that's pretty much great news right there, because I would have smashed him and everything. I would have beat him down. So, yeah, he was talking about how he would have beat him down tonight, and how he's going to go to WrestleMania and beat him down there, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Roman Reigns was talking about. And then, Paul Heyman kept on trying to interrupt Roman Reigns then. Yeah, Paul Heyman kept on interrupting Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns was like, what do you want, wise man? What do you really want? And Paul Heyman was like, I just got another message that Brock Lesnar's going to soon be here because his flight landed, and he's coming straight here. And Roman Reigns is like, well, how about this? I go home and you wrap this up. He gets out the ring, and him and the Usos and Paul Heyman starts running to the back. And then, they get into a truck with the Usos in the driver's seat and Roman and Paul in the back seat. And then all of a sudden we see Brock Lesnar, and he has a damn forklift. And he runs the forklift through the windows. Pretty much, I think they probably wasn't in there, but, all of a sudden, that's what happened, and, SmackDown went on a commercial break and came back on, and it shows the replay of that, and then they showed that, what happened, after Brock Lesnar drove the forks through the windows. We seen then that, Brock Lesnar then lifted up, the truck with the, forklift, and pretty much knocking it on the side with Roman and all of them in it, pretty much trying to kill him. And then we see Roman and the Usos getting out that truck and hurry up and run into another truck while, they're holding on their arms and stuff because they're injured or whatever. And then they get into the car and then into the truck, and then Roman and then Brock Lesnar runs over there, and while he was driving off, Lesnar then grabs the door and rips it apart. So yeah, and Brock Lesnar will be on SmackDown up next. So yeah, a lot of stuff on SmackDown tonight, and there's a lot more stuff. So yeah, and Brock Lesnar's in the ring right now, which I'll be talking about later on. So yeah, pretty funny segment right there. But yeah, Brock Lesnar pretty much arrived on SmackDown and tried to kill the Bloodline. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, before we talk about the tag team match, we gotta talk about Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns again. Now I already talked about the situation about Roman Reigns and stuff, pretty much almost getting killed by Brock Lesnar. And Lesnar then comes out, to the ring with the door of the truck, and he walks out there, and he's talking about how at WrestleMania, how he's gonna beat Roman Reigns' ass and unify the titles and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Brock Lesnar came out and said, pretty much as a little statement to Roman Reigns. That's what he was saying and all that. But yeah, that's what happened there. But then we get the first match of the night. It was Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Humberto and Angel Los Lotharios tonight in a tag team match. It was an okay tag team match to start off Friday Night SmackDown. At one point, we seen Shinsuke come through and he tags in Rick Boogs, and Humberto tags in Angel. So yeah, those two guys was the legal men, and Shinsuke was out for the rest of the match after he tagged out. And at one point, we seen Humberto get lifted up into a press slam position, and pretty much Rick Boogs was benching him, like over above his shoulders and everything, and then tosses him onto Angel. And pretty much Humberto rolled out the ring, and he was not there anymore. And then Rick Boogs then grabs Angel, pretty much in the pump handle position, lifts him up, starts doing curls with him, and then lifts him up for the pump handle power slam onto Angel, which he calls it the Boogs Cruise, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then he pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs defeated Angel and Humberto Los Lotharios tonight in a tag team match. That's what happened. But up next, we're going to get a 6-man tag team match. Apparently, this match was supposed to happen last week on SmackDown, but it's happening this week now. So yeah, it will be Drew McIntyre teaming up with the Viking Raiders versus Happy Corbin, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky up next in a 6-man tag team match. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Oh, wait, and I forgot to rate the match. That tag team match, I'll give it 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So, the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a 6-man tag team match, and this match was supposed to happen last week, but it is happening this week on SmackDown. It was Drew McIntyre teaming up with Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, versus Happy Corbin, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky with Madcap Moss at ringside in a 6-man tag team match. Like I said, this match was supposed to happen last week, but they had that attack and everything on the Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre and all that. So yeah, that's why it didn't happen. But yeah, they had a match tonight. It was an okay match. I'll give this match 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. At the very ending of this match, we seen Ivar tagging in Drew McIntyre, and as soon as he gets in, we seen Happy Corbin tag in Shanky, quickly getting out the ring, standing where Madcap Moss was at, and the whole time they was watching the match, because Corbin did not want to get in the ring with McIntyre. Shanky gets in the ring, he starts getting beat up from Drew, and then Jinder Mahal comes in the ring at one point, he gets hit with a belly-to-belly suplex by Drew, and then gets clotheslined over the top rope, taking him out for the rest of the match. And then Drew then hits the Claymore onto Shanky, and then pinned him for the 3 count. So yeah, Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders defeated Happy Corbin, Shanky, and Jinder Mahal tonight on Friday Night SmackDown in a 6-man tag team match. Like I said, it was an okay match. I'll give that match 2 stars. But then after the match ended, we seen Sami Zayn backstage, and he said, well, since Johnny Knoxville's been costing me my matches, costing me the Intercontinental Championship and all that, he said, how about this? Our match at WrestleMania will be anything goes. Pretty much a no disqualification match, or no holds barred, whatever you want to call it. It looks like it's going to be the match stipulation between Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. So yeah, that'll probably make the match a little bit more better right there now. So yeah, that's going to be the match going into WrestleMania now. But up next, we're going to see Naomi and Sasha Banks versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan up next on SmackDown in a tag team match. So yeah, and later on tonight we'll see Charlotte Flair pretty much having a challenge about Ronda Rousey or whatever. So yeah, that'll be later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a tag team match between the two teams, Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley in a tag team match, and we had the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Carmella and Zelina Vega watching this match from ringside. Now, it was a pretty good tag team match. And I see a lot of people get like mad that Sasha Banks is like teaming up with Naomi now and all that with them forming tag teams out of nowhere. But if you think about it, Sasha Banks and Naomi actually used to team up before as Team Bad back in I want to say 2015. So yeah, they do get some history as a tag team and all that. So yeah, I don't get why a lot of people's complaining about it, but it's whatever. But yeah, so yeah, it was a pretty good tag team match between the two teams. And at the very ending of this match, we seen at one point Naomi hitting a split-legged moonsault onto Rhea Ripley. She pins her, and then Liv Morgan breaks up the pin at 2. And that's when Sasha Banks comes into the ring, throwing Liv Morgan out the ring. But then Naomi and Sasha Banks set up Rhea Ripley on the top turnbuckle. They climb up there with her, try a double superplex onto Rhea Ripley off the turnbuckle. But then Liv Morgan comes up and then goes underneath him for the powerbomb. And pretty much it was a double powerbomb, double superplex off the top turnbuckle. So yeah, that's what happened. And all 4 women was laid out in the middle of the ring. And then Shayna Baszler and Natalya comes down, beating them down and led to disqualification. So yeah, that's what happened. And yep, I want to say Sasha Banks and Naomi possibly won. I think it was the first one's attack, but it was probably a no contest or whatever. So yeah, that's what happened. They was getting beat down by Shayna Baszler and Natalya because they've been complaining about for weeks how they've been wanting a shot for the women's tag team titles. And then Carmella and Zelina Vega comes through, beating them down as well. Sasha Banks and Naomi and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. So yeah, and then they stand tall, holding up the tag team titles with them staring at Natalya and Shayna Baszler. So yeah, that's what happened there. And for that match, and since it led to disqualification or whatever, I'll just give it 2 stars. Actually, I'll just give it a 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match, but I hate it when and then a disqualification. But yeah, that's what happened there. But then we got Johnny Knoxville, and he sent a video saying that he accepts Sami Zayn's challenge. So yeah, WrestleMania, Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville in a pretty much no disqualification match at WrestleMania. But up next, it looked like Pat McAfee will be going to Mr. McMahon's office up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we seen Pat McAfee coming back from Mr. McMahon's office, which we'll be talking about. But before I talk about that, we gotta talk about what happened backstage, where we see Natalya and Shayna Baszler talking to each other, and then all of a sudden Sonya Deville comes up, and pretty much she says she liked what happened in the ring and all that, and how Natalya and Shayna Baszler will be added into the match at WrestleMania. So yeah, at WrestleMania in a few weeks we'll see Carmella and Zelina Vega defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler and Natalya in a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. So yeah, that match will now be happening at WrestleMania this year. But yep, that's what happened there. And like I said, we've seen Pat McAfee coming back from Vince's office, and he comes into the ring. He starts going on talking about how he was 11 years old, how he came across Monday Night Raw on a no-name network called USA Network, and pretty much talking about how he finally got the call from Michael Cole and stuff to come to SmackDown and commentate on SmackDown and all that. That's what Pat McAfee was saying. But then he said, then he kept on talking about how he finally joined the WWE and all that, how he came into professional wrestling and all that. And then all of a sudden we see Austin Theory come to the ring, and he says, well, are you going to apologize to me? Vince already said, if you don't apologize to me, you lose your job and you lose your match at WrestleMania. And then Pat McAfee looked like he wasn't going to apologize or anything. But then he actually apologizes to him. He looks at him, he goes like, I'm sorry, Austin Theory, for beating your ass last week. I'm sorry that you was born and all that. Pretty much kept on apologizing to him. And looks at him, he goes like, I'm sorry that you are a punk ass bitch and all that. So yeah, that's what Pat McAfee said. And then Austin Theory then he looks at Pat McAfee smiling and stuff, takes a few selfies around him and all that, and then pushes him and quickly got out of the ring. So yeah, that's what happened there. And yep, up next we're going to be seeing Kofi Kingston versus Richholland up next on SmackDown. So yeah, this will be pretty much the main event, the last match of the night, because it ain't that much longer until SmackDown ends. And still to come later on tonight, we still got Charlotte Flair challenge or whatever later on tonight on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. I'll see you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. It was Kofi Kingston versus Richholland with Sheamus and Butch at ringside in a one-on-one match. So yeah, it was a match between them two. Now, of course, WWE showed the replay about what happened to Big E last week on Friday Night SmackDown, where Richholland tried to hit a belly-to-belly suplex onto him, and Big E landed on the top of his head, and he broke his neck. And then, of course, they were showing the updates where he was getting carried out to the back on the stretcher, and threw a thumbs up to the crowd and everything, and everybody was cheering. That, he threw it the thumbs up, so he wasn't pretty much dead. And then he had an update. He updated everybody after SmackDown went off the air, and it updated everybody on the next morning, talking about like how he can move his hands around and everything, and how he don't have to have surgery or nothing like that. So yeah, that's what happened there, and that's why this match came to be between Richholland and Kofi Kingston, and it was a pretty good match. At the ending of this match, we seen Butch and Sheamus getting kicked out from ringside because they kept on trying to interfere in this match, and Richholland was distracted because of that. He was talking to the referee, or like telling the referee like, "Why the hell are you kicking them away from ringside?" And then he gets rolled up by Kofi Kingston. He kicked out at 2, and then Richholland, and then Kofi Kingston grabs that shillelagh, throws it at Butch and Sheamus to piss him off even more, and then he turns around and then he gets hit with Richholland's finisher move called the No Regret, dropping Kofi Kingston and pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, Richholland defeated Kofi Kingston tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. That's what happened. But so yeah, I'll give that match 2 stars. That's why I'll give that match. So yeah, that's what happened. But next on SmackDown, we're going to see the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair talking on SmackDown up next, talking about a challenge on up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we seen Charlotte, the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair come out to the ring, and she was talking about how Ronda Rousey got saved last week because she almost made Ronda Rousey tap out in a few more seconds, but then the referees and stuff backed her off of her and all that. So yeah, that's why she said that's why Ronda Rousey didn't tap out last week, but she said she's going to make her tap out at WrestleMania. And then she starts calling out Ronda Rousey. Called her out, and then Ronda Rousey, which was backstage watching Charlotte Flair through the monitor and all that, she was walking down the hallway, and then Caleb Braxton was trying to interview Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey pretty much wasn't having none of it and kept on walking by her. So yeah, and then she comes on out, and then Charlotte Flair then grabs a kendo stick, which was right there at the ring steps. And then Ronda Rousey gets in the ring, and Charlotte Flair was trying to attack her with the kendo stick, but Ronda Rousey, of course, fighting back and everything. They was going at it. They was brawling and everything inside the ring, and then Charlotte Flair was getting out of the ring, escaping from her, and then Ronda Rousey was getting out of the ring as well. And Charlotte Flair knocked her off the ring apron, and she hit the floor pretty hard, Ronda Rousey did. And then, but she was okay, though. Charlotte Flair then was trying to hurry up and escape and everything, but Ronda Rousey locked on the ankle lock onto Charlotte Flair, Charlotte Flair was still on her foot or whatever, leaping to the barricade while she had the ankle lock locked on the other foot. And then she grabs a kendo stick from the behind the barricade, starts whacking Ronda Rousey with it, and then starts choking her out with the kendo stick. But then she grabs Ronda Rousey and then power bombs her through the announce table, laying her out. And yeah, she was standing tall after that. So yeah, that's what happened on SmackDown at the end of SmackDown. So yeah, that segment with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair was pretty good. And the segment with Brock Lesnar pretty much trying to kill Roman Reigns is pretty good as well. But yeah, match of the night, I'd probably say the women's tag team match, even though it ended in disqualification. Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley was pretty good. It was a better match than pretty much other matches on the card tonight. But like I said, it ended in disqualification. So yeah, that tells you about that. Kofi Kingston versus Richholland was pretty good as well. It's tied with that women's tag team match that I just said. Pretty much being match of the night. The 6-man tag team match from earlier with Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders versus Jinder Mahal, Shanky, and Happy Corbin was alright. And the other tag team match with Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Los Lotharios was okay as well. So yeah, and the Pat McAfee and Austin Theory feud and stuff with the segment earlier tonight was pretty good as well. So yeah, other than the storylines moving forward, match quality and stuff on SmackDown was tonight. So yeah, but for tonight's WWE Friday Night SmackDown, I will give a 6.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. So yeah, that's why I'll give tonight's SmackDown. Like I said, match quality wasn't really that much, but the segments and stuff was pretty good. So yeah, that has been my WWE Friday Night SmackDown March 18th, 2022 reviews. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to TNW Wrestling, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And yeah, I will see you guys later for tonight's AEW Rampage reviews later on tonight, because it will be airing at 11:30. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.